Okay guys, welcome back. This is the tutorial for project 6A, how to set up the CSS file. And at this point, we've completed our Code Academy unit on introducing CSS, the CSS setup. And we've learned that CSS, or cascading style sheets, is used to style our HTML pages. And we're going to use what we've learned to style our brown bear project that we created previously using brackets. So to do that, let's go to our H drive and go to our My Coding 2 folder, our HTML and CSS unit folder, and then we see all our project folders. So let's go to project 3A, which is where we created the brown bear file, and we're going to copy the index file, go to project 6A, paste it. Now, once we've got it in there, we're going to click back so that we're looking at the folder, and we're going to right-click on the project 6A CSS file folder and go down to Open as a Brackets project. Okay, and this opens up the file that we had created previously. So let's go ahead and click our live preview, see what we've got going on. All right, so first thing we need to do is actually create the CSS file. So we're going to go to File, New, and then we're going to save it. File, Save As, and we're going to call it style.css. And then we're going to click Save. And we haven't put anything on it yet, but if you go to our folder, you'll see that it's in there. Looks like a notepad file, sort of. All right, so, but it tells us it's a CSS file, okay? All right, so back to brackets. Now, let's go back to the HTML, and we know from the lesson that we just did in Code Academy that in order to get our style changes to show up, we have to put a link between our HTML document and our style sheet. So that link goes in the head. So I'm going to click right there, and I'm going to go ahead and type out the link. So we type link, and we need to tell it first what we want it to do. So we're going to type href. Now we've got our autocomplete that comes up, so I'm going to just click on that, and it gives us our the place where we can put our attribute in. It says equals, and then it's got our quotation marks. Now, we want to link this to the style.css sheet. So I could type that in there, or I could just click right there. So that's the href. So next, we want to do what type of file it is. So we're going to type the word type, and notice that as I start putting that in, the autocomplete comes up. I can click on that, and then it gives us the option. Okay, and the type of file is going to be a CSS file, so I'm going to click on that, space, and then the last element that we need to put into this link is the relationship, so REL. I'm going to go ahead and click on that, and the relationship is that it is a style sheet. Okay, and now that we've got the three attributes in there, we need to close out our link. All right. Now, we've got the link in there, but nothing's showing up because we don't have anything in our style sheet yet. So I know we haven't learned much about CSS syntax yet, but I'm going to have you go ahead and test it by putting in this one element. So let's do body, base, and then I'm going to do curly bracket, and I'm going to hit, and notice that it does, I do an opening curly bracket, that is the left-hand one, and it automatically puts the right-hand one in. I'm going to press enter, and I'm going to change the background color so that we can verify that our link is working. So I'm going to type back, and notice that it gives us some options. I'm going to select background color, and I'm just going to go ahead and select bisque, something that shows up. And the very last thing I need, and notice that it showed up immediately, the very last thing I need to do is put in a semicolon. okay? And notice if you did it right, it shows up. Notice that my background is now Bisque. Now at this point, you're definitely going to want to save. If your change does not show up, you're going to want to save both your HTML and your CSS file, and you might need to hit refresh just to make that come up. Now, if you do that and it doesn't show up as a different background color, it's a good chance that you have a problem with your link, that there's a mistake in there. So go ahead and go back and check that out. But there it is. That's how you set up your CSS style sheet. And let's see how you do.